Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we did have an abandoned lightless kitten that we found and then redirected to the lightless cats. Now, it has been a few days since we last played, so my memory is just a little bit hazy, but I do remember that much. I want to quickly check up on the ages of our cats. Okay, 8 moons, that means we're not worrying about them turning into warriors just yet. That is probably going to be next episode because we'll be heading into 9 moons for the apprentices. But okay guys, let us dive into events and just see what happens. I'm very curious as to what our kitty cats have been up to. So let's go ahead and skip a moon. I'm pretty sure I've set everything up. And here we go. Time skip a moon. Okay, no births and deaths happening just yet. We are at 34 moons right now. Lara Clan's cats keep their distance from Luminous Clan during the gathering. No matter what tack Mistar tries, Lara Clan's leader doesn't seem receptive. Perhaps this alliance is weakening for reasons he isn't aware of. Okay, so relations there are not doing too well. Nectarrock no longer has a running nose, that is good. And Slopefleck has gotten yellow cough. Now, I'm pretty sure I have had cats die from green cough in the past. I don't know the seriousness of the yellow coughs, white coughs, and green coughs. I know the seriousness of kitten coughs because we've had exactly one case of that, which did result in death. So I'm not sure, what the other coughs are in terms of seriousness. But let's go and quickly set up our leader's den for the next gathering and check out the medicine cat den. So, leaders den, Lara Clan. Next time we want to go and praise Chub Clan. Okay. And then let's check up the log in the medicine cat den. Okay, so everything is good in terms of herbs. Cloudy Snarl is up and at work. Let's see, Nectarrock was given Poppy's treatment for running nose, and he no longer has running nose. And Cloudy Snarl gathered elder leaves this moon. Okay. And now let's go ahead and check out relationships. What has been happening between our cats? Okay, Poppypaw does something that makes Bubbling Gale's day a little happier. Okay, these guys are bonding just a little bit more. And I feel like I do need a little bit of a reminder as to who is whose mentor. Wait, Poppypaw is with Lyrebuzz. Yes, and she doesn't like Lyrebuzz. And the boy, Plumepaw, is with Grayswipe. I'm pretty sure. Grayswipe. Okay. Bubbling Gale and Plumepaw argued about something trivial and neither of them apologized. Okay, I feel like Plumepaw's personality is coming out more and more in these arguments that he's having. Like little spats with Bubbling Gale. Nectarrock makes a small sacrifice that benefits Dark Pounce. Okay, yeah, these two are the mates that are not getting along so much. Dark Pounce, she I don't think she has any overly strong feelings for Nectarrock, but we do know she's been hesitant towards this relationship from the get-go. They have not broken up yet, which is what I have been expecting, but nothing has happened, in that regard. And it's kind of interesting that despite the fact that Nectarrock hates being bound to her, he is still willing to make a small sacrifice that benefits her. And the relationship really took a dive when Dark Pounce started getting sensitive about other cats finding her mate useless. And then, she told Nectarrock that, and he got upset over it. So it's nice to see that there was some improvement over here. Okay, Dark Pounce wishes that a clanmate liked her as much as they like Plumepaw. Okay, let's check out her relationships. Obviously it's going to be anyone in the clan who she's closest to. Let's see, because she thinks this particular clanmate, Slopefleck, who she's not connected to, but Slopefleck. See, look, Dark Pounce actually relies on Nectarrock despite, this is something we can talk about it now, but Nectarrock, he hates her, obviously. She does not have any dislike towards him. In fact, I think that over time, the hesitancy she had towards this pairing, it's kind of being worn down, and it's like sometimes, you know how you get used to things? She's, I think, started relying on Nectarok and his presence, but maybe she doesn't realize it as much. I think it's been a gradual thing for her. Definitely, nothing like love and family and affection, but she's definitely gotten used to his presence constantly being there. So that's kind of intriguing. But Slopefleck. Okay. So it seems as though she wishes that Slopefleck liked her as much as he likes Plumpole. Or maybe this is something that she thinks in her head, because I don't actually know how Slopefleck feels about Plumpole. Lyrebuzz stands tall when Dark Pounce walks by. Okay, you wonder why that is. Greyswipe asks Lyrebuzz about his duties. Okay, this is kind of cool because these two are our mentors. So I'm assuming Greyswipe is asking Lyrebuzz, like, how are things going with your apprentice? Because we've established this, but these two have kind of different approaches towards how they do things. And it's not working with Lyrebuzz, and it kind of is working with Greyswipe. So I think she's kind of checking up on him just to see how things are going, like comparing notes, see how they might be able to help their apprentices. Maybe they're even deciding what's going to happen with the next patrol, because sometimes they do have instances where they like to swap their apprentices. Okay, Dark Pounce greatly embarrassed herself in front of Slumberroach. Well, that's not good, Dark Pounce. Slumberroach smells something strange on Plumpole. Okay. Mistar just told Lyrebuzz a hilarious joke. Well, it's good to see that our leader and deputy are getting along well. But you know what? I feel like the relationship between Mistar and Lyrebuzz is very different to what we had between Nectarok and Mistar. I feel like with Nectarok, he and Mistar used to have a very strong understanding of each other. They used to be very tight. And I think they used to be quite transparent when it came to their duties, and they knew a lot about what's going on in each other's heads. And they were able to work together that way. I feel like Lyrebuzz, it's almost as though he's got his own, like, circle with Cloudy Snarl, who is Mistar's mate, and obviously Dark Pounce. And it feels as though they have, like, their own agendas going in the background, and Mistar, he's not really privy to what's happening. So even though Mistar is like the captain of his ship, he doesn't know what's happening on the ship. Like, he doesn't know who's running it. You know what I mean? Like, things are unclear, because Lyrebuzz, I feel like, he relies on Lyrebuzz to update him on things and organize stuff for him. But I think Lyrebuzz, our deputy, kind of has his own, like, power play going on with the other cats. They've almost become, an insider group on their own. And so, I don't know. It's good when they do things like this, where they're able to connect more, but I feel kind of bad for Mistar. It feels like Mistar is out of the loop, even though he appointed everyone who's currently in leadership roles. Okay, Mistar saw Plumpole the other day, but didn't get a chance to meow hello. It's okay, Mistar. We know you're busy. Okay, Cloudy Snarl and Dark Pounce worked well together on a patrol. That is good to know. Cloudy Snarl thinks Poppypaw was nice to her today. Okay, that is good, because Poppypaw, we also know, has been quite upset at Cloudy Snarl. And she has kind of a grudge against her mother, and she keeps going to her mother even when it's just to pick a fight. So it's good that they weren't arguing. And this thing with Cloudy Snarl and Dark Pounce, Cloudy Snarl always goes out to gather herbs on her own, and Dark Pounce does not leave camp at all because she's a mediator. So I imagine this was kind of a nice outing for them, because Dark Pounce got to go out and Cloudy Snarl got to have some help with collecting her herbs. Okay, Greyswipe tells a joke that only Cloudy Snarl can understand. Okay. Greyswipe got the cats up for morning stretches, and they did not like that. Greyswipe gets excellent advice from Plumpole about something she had been worrying about. Okay, look at this. Again, another example of how Greyswipe and Plumpole work very well together as mentor and apprentice. She is not only teaching Plumpole things, but she's learning things from him, and she's, it seems, discussing her worries with him, which again is kind of how we learn things, right? Situations that grown-ups have, they talk to us about, and even though we might not be going through it, we learn from what they experience. So Plumepool, again, this is really good to see. Nectarrock can't help but admire Miss Star's pelt. Okay. And I mean, Nectarrock, you know, he is younger than Miss Star, but he is retired and no longer working. So imagine this interaction right here is Nectarrock thinking how Miss Star looks very good for his age. Because, you know, shiny pelt means healthy pelt means healthy cat. So it's kind of nice to see. Nectarrock thinks the prairie Slopefleck is biting into on the other side of camp looks delicious. Okay. Grey Swipe mentions that Slopefleck looks good today. That is nice of her. Poppypaw tells a clanmate that Slopefleck did a great job today. It's kind of interesting to see Poppypaw be so nice to Slopefleck because Slopefleck resents her brother. But then again, Poppypaw and her brother, I feel like are quite at odds. They don't really fight with each other per se. They debate a lot and they have different worldviews. I wonder if that's ever going to turn into a rivalry when they get older. Who knows? Poppypaw isn't afraid to ask Nectarrock a difficult question, so she's hanging out with him again. And finally, Bubbling Gale won't tell Plumepool what he finds so funny. And these two are the ones who had an argument, like, earlier on. Yeah, they argued about something trivial, they didn't apologize, and now they're butting heads again. And Bubbling Gale is not telling Plumepool what he finds so funny. Ay. Okay, but you know what? I feel like these arguments with Bubbling Gale and Plumepool, which I feel like is a little bit regular. Like, this rings a few bells in my head. So I think this whole argument thing that they keep having, like a Tom and Jerry back and forth, you know, this cat and mouse thing, I feel like it's helping to bring Plumepool out of his shell. He used to be very, very shy when he was a kitten, but I think he has kind of grown fangs since then. So that is good to know. But okay, I am going to cut the recording here, and then we're going to jump into the cat list to check loyalties and see what the cats are up to. And if there aren't any significant changes in terms of relationships, then we can check that out as well. You know guys, Miss Star might just be the best leader I've ever had because look at this. His loyalties have been going strong forever, it seems. Dark Pounds, again, is the only anti-loyalist that we currently have. Everyone else has been quite firmly for Miss Star, which is very, very interesting to see. I've never really had a situation like this before. But we didn't have any significant changes in terms of relationships, so we're just gonna dive in and see what the cats are doing for today. So Miss Star saw a kitty pet with no fur at all. Also, real quick, it is Leaf Bear. Okay. Lyrebuzz is stressed about organizing patrols. Okay. Yeah, I think Lyrebuzz has, like, additional stress. Not only because he's trying to figure out, okay, what am I gonna do for my apprentice this moon, since she's so difficult to take with him anywhere and to teach. And I think since, you know, the apprentices only have 2 moons left, their mentors would be stressing a bit more, trying to like cram as much information into them so that they're prepared as best as possible to become warriors. So yeah, Lyrebuzz, you know, he's got that thing to worry about, and then aside from what he has to organize with the other mentor, he also has to think about what the other cats are going to be arranged like. So yeah, I think being a mentor as a deputy, to be honest, being a mentor, as deputy, I feel like would be the most stressful. I mean, with like being apprentice to a leader, I feel like you could manage. Medicine Cat, having an apprentice would be very helpful, and I feel like even for a mediator, it would be good company. But I think for a deputy, especially if you have a troublesome apprentice like Poppypaw, it would be a lot of headache. Okay, Cloudy Snarl realizes what an omen might mean. Okay, I feel like Cloudy Snarl had an omen like this and something happened in one of the previous episodes. Either someone got injured or they died. So I can't remember exactly what situation it was, but we might have to beware of patrols. Okay, Dark Bounce had to fix an argument between the elders again. I mean, we only have one elder, so I'm assuming it was one of our retired cats and someone else. Yeah, I think again, unfortunately, our retired deputy got into, like Nectarrock got into an argument with maybe one of the other she-cats who thought he was lazing around and being useless, and Dark Pounce as his mate had to kind of step in again, and Mediator. Slowfleck saw some kitty pets playing with colourful moss balls. Okay, Slowfleck is sick, so he will not be able to go on patrol. Slumberroach sticks his tongue out at a mouse that escaped his pounce. Okay, he's being childish. Bubbling Gale is careful not to stand under branches with snow on them. Grey Swipe. Oh, okay, so Grey Swipe and... Hold on a second. Grey Swipe and... Oh, jeez, I'm clicking on the wrong button. Grey Swipe and Bubbling Gale are hanging out together, which is nice to see. Poppy Paw is relaxing in camp. Look at this, guys. She cannot be bothered. This little one cannot be bothered. Meanwhile, her brother is feeling cramped in the apprentice's den. Look at that. You know what this tells me? Especially if you look at the experience, right? His sister, she's got 21 experience. Her brother has 31. So he's like 10 experience points ahead of her. I feel like this kind of shows us that Plumepaw is kind of ready to get out of his apprentice skin and become a warrior. Like, he wants to start doing things, He's feeling cramped hanging out with the kids, even if the kid is just his sister. Whereas with Poppy Paw, like, being a warrior, still 2 moons away. She's gonna relax. She doesn't have to worry so much. She's just gonna enjoy being an adolescent. So we can see that the way they think about things is very, very different. Nectarrock saw a pair of 2 legs near camp today. And that, it seems, is all we have for the cat. The other thing I'm curious about, who actually has more experience out of the mentors? Like, I want to know that. I wonder if that has any influence on how the apprentices are doing. So Lyrebuzz has 321 experience, and Grey Swipe has 321. Okay, so they both have 321 experience. So they're kind of like on an equal, equal level in terms of that. They're both pretty much masters, so that's really good. But I think that just goes to show that Plumepaw is way more motivated than his sister is. But okay, guys, I'm going to cut the recording here, and then we're going to jump into patrols and see what happens next. It is time for us to dive into our patrols. I keep forgetting that the only anti-loyalist we have never goes out to patrol because she's a mediator. So basically, all of the cats who ever go out on patrol basically would give their lives for the clan leader. And like, if there ever was a situation, they would sacrifice themselves to save the clan leader, is how I'm interpreting their loyalty as, which is very, very fascinating. But currently we have 169.7 prey, and we need 26.5. Let's send out the medicine cat first and foremost. So you go off. There's a limited selection of herbs Cloudy Snarl can even look for in Leaf Bear, but if she can't remember where the wild garlic grew in Greenleaf, it's hers for the taking. We shall proceed. Cloudy Snarl returns to camp with stone-cold paws and a new hatred for digging, but carrying bulbs of garlic. So wild garlic was gathered, so that was successful for us. And ooh, guys, this, I feel like, especially in Leaf Bear, might be a dangerous patrol, because we are going to have a team of 6 and a lone cat going out. Okay, what have the mentors decided? Let's go ahead and see. Okay, look at that. So I was just saying how all of the cats going out on patrol are loyal to the clan leader, which means they would give their lives for Mistar in any situation that arises. But it seems as though, the mentors have decided that they are going to accompany their apprentices this time. And Lyrebuzz, he thinks that, Mistar, he spoke to Mistar, and Mistar's kind of okay going off on his own. So I feel like with deputies, in my head, when they organize patrols, like if it's between mentors, the mentors definitely take precedence when they're teaching. And then, if a mentor is not also a deputy, they talk to the deputy, and the deputy gives precedence to what the mentors want, and that's how the patrols are organized. And then I imagine, even though the deputy is kind of in charge of deciding like which of the cats are going to go with whom and go where, I feel like when it comes to the leader, they would always kind of check off with the leader or talk to the leader to discuss like, this is kind of the plan, are you okay with that? So obviously Lyrebuzz has talked to Mistar, and Mistar feels more comfortable going out on his own in Leaf Bear than leaving, since they do have like an odd number, he would rather go out on his own instead of leaving one of the other cats on their lonesome. So okay, let's go on patrol and see what happens and see if anyone stands out. Okay, the patrol meets Chub Clan, a clan they consider to be allies at the border. Proceed. The patrol stops to talk with the other cats, but Slumber Roach is quick to begin taunting them, poking fun at the other clan. When the two patrols part ways, tails are whipping and voices border on a hiss. Relations with Chub Clan have worsened. Slumber Roach! I feel like Slumber Roach has been too playful and too casual lately. You know what I think, guys? I feel like, because Slumber Roach has actually made it to Gracewhite, I feel like ever since Gracewhite became a mentor, she's been putting a lot of effort into Plumepaw, and it shows because Plumepaw definitely has more experience than his sister. But because she's putting so much effort into Plumepaw, I think her mate Slumber Roach is actually getting bored, and I think he's starting to become more playful and cheeky and do things like this because he's used to kind of spending most of his time with his mate, but now he doesn't have that. And then he wanted an apprentice, but the only other, cat at the time, the only other adolescent who he might have taken, unfortunately died from kitten cough. So, yeah, he has nothing to do. This is not, I think, what he pictured for himself at this point in his life. So, this is what he's doing, guys. He's making trouble. Slumber Roach. Okay, now he's sending out Mr. on his own, and hopefully he gets something to hunt, but I don't think it'll be too bad if we don't, because we do have a lot of food. But I do feel like Mr. would feel a little bit of pressure to hunt, because, I think the clan would like to get food every moon, even if it's a little bit, because over time you do have food that gets bad and decays. So let's go ahead, send him on patrol. It starts snowing soon after Mr. sets out, trying to bring back something, anything for the fresh kill pile. Just what I thought. Proceed. Despite the snow, Mr. manages to hunt successfully, finding a mouse in the foothills. Only one, but in this season, that's more than enough to count as a success. A small amount of prey is brought to camp. Okay, thank goodness nothing bad happened to our leader. He is a wise leader, so he managed to go out and at least get a little bit of something for us. So now we have 173.7 prey. Okay, so our cats more or less are doing quite good. Slopefleck, yep, hopefully he gets better from his cough. And I think that's all we have with the cats. So pretty much, I think the only kind of, troublesome thing we had is Slumber Roach. Slumber Roach, who's getting bored at the fact that his mate is always busy. But okay, guys, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.